Hi, I'm Meredith McKenzie, founder of Mindful Businesswoman and today's host. Today, I have the honor of interviewing Crystal Eddy, a multi six-figure earner and mom. Crystal, before we get started, can you tell me more about you and what you do?
Hi, sure. Thanks for having me. So I'm Crystal Eddy, Texas born and raised, former military spouse for 21 years, but also former collegiate athlete, had my degree in business marketing, worked in corporate America as an executive assistant, realized a desk job was not for me, went and got my job as a flight attendant with Southwest Airlines, absolutely loved it. And then my husband got his first assignment to Tokyo, Japan. So that obviously ended that job real quick. And then became a stay-at-home mom, military spouse for 21 years. But also sports, fitness, and nutrition are my wheelhouse. That's just what I'm obsessed with, what I love, helping other people dial in. And then recently upgraded to military mom. Both my kids are in the Air Force, 21 and 22 years old. So what I do now is just help women dial in their nutrition for the women that go to the doctor and they're like, your labs are great. What are you going to do about that? Nutrition is a key role in feeling better. Medical industry absolutely has their place, but nutrition and fitness can be a solution to many things.
Yeah, wow, what an amazing resume, first off. And second off, congratulations, for being a military wife and military mom. That's such a huge achievement. Advice would you give to entrepreneurs and moms and women who are in business as far as nutrition and wellness?
Oh, that's a big topic. First, I would say you need to know your baseline. So, like I said, the medical industry has its place, meaning go get your labs drawn, preferably from a functional practitioner that can do more than just the baseline. And I'm speaking from personal experience on this. I have had my labs drawn. I have my nutrition dialed in. I have supplements that I take based on my lab results. So just personal experience, personal story from my last lab draw. My vitamin D levels were super, super low, which is odd because I eat a lot of grass-fed, grass-finished beef. I eat whole eggs. I drink whole milk. So it tells you what your body needs. So don't base it on, I'm going to try this supplement. Maybe you don't even need that supplement. But for women as business owners and entrepreneurs, I can be a workaholic. I get it. You want to do all the things. You're doing just like a mom, doing all the things, making everybody else look good, feel good, all the things. And then we reach burnout or you reach adrenal fatigue and then your body's stressed and then you can't be the person you need to show up to be for other people. So advice would be start with you, keep yourself healthy so you can be the entrepreneur you were meant to be and basically be the best at it. I'm not here to be average. I want top tier in everything. So that's your reputation too. Like take care of yourself first, like literally take care of yourself first, not just a quick fix. Dial in the daily basics, your daily protocol, because you're taking care of your business and you treat your business like a baby. So maybe think of yourself like I am my business, so it starts with me first.
Yeah, that's so good and so important. I feel like as women, we're almost programmed to some extent to be second, or everybody comes first, and then, okay, oh yeah, I forgot about myself. So I love that advice. So how did you balance, all the demands of being an entrepreneur, a mom, and running your business?
Oh, balance. That's a funny word. Um, I like to say you can have everything, you can have it all, just not all at once. So maybe think of balancing for me. I go back to I'm a very disciplined person, and there is a reason for that. I do not like chaos. So you design your day and you design your life. I know that might sound harsh to some, but like your day looks like how you're allowing your day to look. Stop letting the world run you and you run your day. I'm not saying it's easy. It is challenging, but just running your day, balancing things, prioritizing, blocking your time appropriately, and then moving on. Like, okay, just for example, 9 to 12 today are my business hours. And when that's done, that's done. What do I need to do next? Because I can be a workaholic. I love what I do. But again, I am kind of on the flip side of that. I work because I want to, not because I have to. So my job does not run me. I run what I do. So I think balance for me is being able to walk away from work because I love it so much. So I think or maybe there's other people like that too, but balancing out free time, decompress time, personal time, balancing, take care of, I start my day taking care of my mind and body first because I know as the day gets longer, I am not that person that's going to go to the gym or do anything in the evening. Not happening. So I know that about myself. So I prioritize that at the beginning of my day. I already forgot what question you asked
No,
me.
this was amazing. So I love what you said about not all at once because you know what? I have this habit when I'm planning my day, I'm trying to hit like every milestone, like, okay, mindset, mental health, body, work, after work, hustle. And it's like, it's unrealistic, like trying to hit all those points. So I love what you said that it may not happen all at once, but you can definitely find balance, maybe through, like every other day or something.
Exactly. But also find your non-negotiables for the day.
Mm,
So for me, I mean, you brush your teeth every day. Why do you do that? Well, because you know it's necessary. Okay, so it's necessary that you move your body every day and fuel it properly if you want a better outcome. So it's again kind of it's a different mindset about instead of the day run you, you run the day. And I can remember telling my daughter this because she struggled with like life is not happening um, to you, it's happening for you. And so if you, it's that subtle mind shift that I'm not saying it's not challenging because you can sit here and go, why does this happen? Why does that happen? Okay, this is happening for me. But also every day I get up and if I'm not home, I try and walk. But for me, when I am home at my house, sleep in my bed, I get up, put my weighted vest on, and I go for a walk. So that's really kind of like habit stacking. I've got my walk done, I've got my morning sunshine in, I've got my weighted vest on. So instead of trying to have it all completed by the day, maybe habit stack too. I mean, that's
mm.
just one of the things I
I
do.
love that.
And it's
Yeah.
not complicated. You just got to do it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I feel like when you think about it more than doing it, that's where it gets tricky. Because I've had those days where I'm like, oh, this is my to-do list, and I'm thinking about it, and then I feel like I burned out my energy just by thinking too much about it.
You spend more time thinking about it, and it would have already been done 10 times if you stopped thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There we go. No, honestly, I think that's key. So changing your perspective, having your non-negotiables and just going for it. Just do it. Do that, especially like you said in the mornings, get it done. You know that once you get it done, then you have the rest of the day.
Yeah, and you sometimes you forget you do it.
Yeah, honestly, I love this. This is gonna go on my notes of things that I'm gonna change about myself. So what strategies have you found most effective for managing your time, between your business and self-care and your family?
Okay. So for me, what you just said, like, I don't want you to think like, oh, I got to go change myself and do all these things. And this is where I think people get stuck. They're like, I'm going to do a diet for 30 days. I'm going to do this. No, you've got to think of this as a lifestyle. Again, subtle shift. But again, back to how do I do what I do? I can be a perfectionist. I know this about myself, but what is perfection getting me? What is the saying? A terrible plan executed violently is much better than a perfect plan never executed. I totally butchered that quote, but that's how I say it in my head.
Yeah.
There's a quote for that. But for me, I strive to do the 1% better every day instead of I got to do 100% today. So are there days that I don't get everything done? No, yes. But also I know if I can put my head on my pillow at night and be like, I did my best, that's enough. And you win the day. So 1% better every day. Self-care, I dial in my sleep. Sleep is top priority for me because sleep, four pillars of health, sleep is like the cornerstone of it, especially at my age, 47. But that's how I've gotten 1% better every day on that. My sleep, you stay up late, you scroll your phone, you just sit on the couch and watch TV till you fall asleep. No, I have a bedtime and I prioritize my sleep and I feel better because of it. And you start feeling that, and then you're like, oh, I did that. I mean, I have a silk pillowcase. I mean, there's just tiny little things to that 1% better every day until you feel like you've mastered it. Same thing with nutrition. Don't go, I got to change all this today. Okay, with nutrition, start with maybe not eat after 6 o'clock. Your body doesn't need food 3 hours before it goes to sleep to optimize digestion and let your body renew overnight. I know, again, not won't fit everyone. I say 6 o'clock. That's what works for me if you're a shift worker. But see, I've gone down the rabbit hole. I can do all the things. But back to just 1% every day. Pick something and get better at it 1% every day. Not I've got to nail this today. And then this is, I think, where the roller coaster happens. Well, I didn't do that yesterday, so now we're off the boats and kind of like nutrition. Well, I ate crap today, so might as well forget trying to do anything right the rest of the day.
Yeah, we'll start on Monday. That's like
Oh,
definitely.
oh,
So I want to talk about boundaries. Did you have any boundaries, as an entrepreneur, and how did you set those boundaries for yourself and for your business to avoid burnout?
ooh, this one's good. I've actually experienced burnout. Again, I say I'm a disciplined person, but when you love what you do and you're so passionate about it, I could work all the time. So I actually had to dial myself back in again in this different chapter. My kids are gone. My husband work schedule is very different. So I can sit here and work all the time. And I know when I'm doing it, it's like, okay, I need to not work after 5 p.m. So a specific boundary that I put in place for me, unless someone needs me or there is something very important happening after 5 o'clock, I'm done. Like my work day is over. Because to me, the evenings are time to decompress for yourself, whatever needs to happen. So that's a boundary I have just personally for me, unless there's a Zoom happening or again, not every day, but it's you have to actually whatever is going to work best for you. So I don't think my boundaries are going to probably work for you or everyone else. You have however your job is set up. What is a boundary for you? Sundays, well, used to just be family day and we'd, do no phones. It's get outside, do something. So again, that looks very different now. So I'm pivoting. Okay, what does this boundary look like? So I think boundaries look different for everyone. You've just got to figure out what boundary benefits you the most.
So what are some of your go-to wellness practices that keep you energized and focused as a busy entrepreneur?
Wellness practices. Okay. So first and foremost, I have my kitchen and pantry set up for success. So there's really nothing in my kitchen or pantry that's going to sabotage my nutritional values or wellness plan. Um, I have a very specific protein coffee that I drink every morning that I'm obsessed with. Again, 47 years old, knowing my body, and I want to be the oldest in the weight room, not the youngest in assisted living. So if you know the end game, then work backwards from there. I don't want my kids to have to put me in a nursing home. I'm here to use my body till my time expires, and that's my goal. So wellness tips. Again, know your baseline. Labs, get your labs done. Know what you need, what you don't need. You cannot out supplement a bad diet, but you absolutely can use top tier quality supplements to fill those micronutrient gaps because our food supply has gaps. Period. Full stop. Um, so yeah, a wellness stack like movement, prioritize your sleep, nutrition, and stress management. So back to that habit stacking. What does walking do? Just go for a 10-minute walk after you eat. There's so many scientific studies done on what just walking after a meal can do for you mentally, physically, and emotionally. Like it's that habit stacking of why do I walk every morning, every evening? It's stress management, it's movement, and it's just out in nature good for you. So that would be like one thing I would say. Just walk for 10 minutes a day. Start with that. But I have a very specific protocol I follow, and I've done it. I'm very experienced in that with life experience. So, yeah, happy to chat more about that. But just wellness wise, what works for you specifically? Because everyone's different. What might work for me might not work for you. But I also prioritize clean ingredients. If I could teach anybody anything, read the nutrition label, read the ingredients, and try to eat as clean as possible.
Like your, let's say, four must-haves in your pantry, for health and wellness, or just anything that's helped you through your nutrition.
Four must-haves. So for me, a quality protein, so grass-fed, grass-finished beef, but I eat whole eggs. And I'm looking because it's sitting right over there. I use a protein, collagen, colostrum blend to supplement with because getting in enough protein is sometimes challenging. Um, Creatine, monohydrate for my age, again, oldest in the weight room, not youngest in assisted living. There's actually studies on creatine microdosing with it, no more than 5 grams a day, the one scoop. But there's also cognitive benefits for that too. So those are my two: protein, creatine, quality food, and then my pantry is set up with, I have a few brands like Butcher Box is where I get all my meat from. Primal Foods is my condiment company that I love. Soda replacements, like again, just kind of building on what's one thing you can do today to help your body. Go do a pantry audit. What does your pantry look like? And then go from there.
What advice would you give other women entrepreneurs about the importance of self-care and business success?
Yeah, I think that is a very sticky subject for women in business. Again, back to mom and wife, and we're the caretakers, and that's just how we're wired, and that is okay. But if you don't prioritize yourself, you simply cannot really prioritize anything else. You might be fooling yourself that you are, but again, that's why burnout happens. That's why maybe you're not happy with but you have to prioritize yourself, like non-negotiable. Make it dial in a daily protocol. Start with one thing and build on that. Because I do know, like again, you can work yourself to death, do burnout, but what does that solve for anybody? It's just a vicious cycle. So learning to do that and being able to recognize, and I don't know it all the time. Again, we're all growing and pivoting and evolving. But just being able to recognize it too, even when you feel yourself going, oh, I'm not prioritizing myself, and you can tell it, you got to be able to recognize it because you can't fix what you can't recognize. So you got to recognize it and then redirect.
What inspired you to become an entrepreneur and how did you take the first steps to get started?
That's a good question. As a military spouse, I knew I wanted a job that would allow me all the flexibility I needed and to own my time. I wasn't willing to, given my husband's job, it gone a lot, deployed a lot. So I was the constant for my kids. So I wasn't willing to have a job that did anything other than take me away from being stay-at-home supportive mom. So I looked into being in direct sale channel, and it kind of fell in my lap. Learned a lot of stuff about that channel, and it ticked all the boxes for me, being able to literally own my time, work when I want, how I want, where I want, and with who I want, and could mostly work it from my phone if I wanted to. So also, sports and fitness, personal trainer, nutrition coach. Every base we move to has a massive fitness center. So me and another role kind of giving back to the community that way, teaching fitness classes for moms. I mean, there's a massive community of moms with kids and high deployment rate and just what physical activity and community can do for that as well is super helpful. So just combining all those sports, fitness, nutrition, all the things.
Yeah. So are you hiring? Because that sounds like my dream job.
I'm always looking for people to join me on my team. Absolutely. I love my people on my team. I love working with people who are passionate about nutrition and helping others feel their best too.
I could give, like 3 tips on where to start. What would those 3 tips be?
3 tips. Okay. So I will say, if we're talking supplements, the saying is out there, you can't out supplement a bad diet, but you can use supplements to help get your diet under control and fill those nutritional gaps that your diet is not filling. And me personally, diet is a 4-letter word. Back to what you were saying, our society is flooded with information in the health and wellness sector. Like it's wild the amount of information out there for supplements, for food, for fitness, for all the things. And I get it. I wouldn't want to have to sort through it either. So for me, where I get passionate is like, let's just dial it in, kind of like back to the very beginning of this conversation. Dial in the basics. So top 3, read the nutrition label. Know what you're putting in your body. So instead of giving you top 3 supplements, I'm going to tell you top 3 ways to think. Is what I'm putting in my body helping me or hurting me? And if you don't know the answer to that, you should know the answer to that. So start with helping me or hurting me. Case in point, energy drinks and women and adrenal disruptors, gut destroyers. The energy drink industry, while it might give you some energy, it's doing so much more damage to your system internally. So I personally have an energy drink that is naturopathic doctor formulated functional nutrition supplement. So the methylated B vitamins. Okay, we're going to get on a little rabbit hole here. So 47 years old, totally get your hormone like frustration. I'm again 47, but I have the MTHFR genetic mutation. Over half the population has it. I've had the blood test for it because of some health issues my mom had, but I know I have it. What does that mean? There's levels of it, but my body cannot process synthetic vitamins. Back to that first question, is what I'm putting in my body helping me or hurting me? If you're taking vitamins, turn them around, read the label. Are they methylated? If they're not, highly recommend getting methylated forms of your vitamins because your body doesn't, my body cannot process synthetic vitamins. The methylated form allows your body to take what it needs and eliminate the rest. So energy drinks, let's like, I've got some I can recommend, but the store-bought ones, mm-mm. And as far as, I guess, joints or gut health, we don't have an ibuprofen deficiency. We don't have an Aleve deficiency. We have a nutritional deficiency. So everybody is different. I don't think there is a one size fit all nutrition plan. This is where I get passionate and like the top 3 tips is what I'm putting in my body helping me or hurting me? And then what do we need to do to dial in a plan for you specifically? Know your lab work, know what your body needs, what it doesn't need, and go from there. Set yourself up for success. Again, I'm not looking for perfection. I kind of live by the 80-20 rule in all aspects of my life. So back to how I was saying, I have my kitchen set up for success. So I know when I'm home, I'm nailing it. Now, when I say go out in the wild, I mean like out and having to be eating things or in a position where you're like, okay, just make smart choices. Like no fried foods, try the grilled. I mean, just the basic stuff. Like it's common sense, so make it common action. Like I think everyone knows what to do. They
Yeah.
just, then there's so much information out there. I think you're second guessing yourself. But like out in the wild, having to run around with your kids, just make smarter choices. I mean, if you can pack snacks and pack food, great. I was not good at that, but at least when I was out, I was making the best choice I could with what I had in front of me, whatever that looks like. Whether now, me personally, I don't go through drive-throughs anymore. My 21 and 22-year-old will tell you I didn't allow them to have McDonald's, but also experiencing food supplies around the world. Lived in Australia for 3 years, Turkey and Japan. McDonald's in Australia drastically different than McDonald's in the US. Why? Because the ingredient list, it's crazy. So I got on a tangent and I've already forgot your question, but is what I'm putting in my body helping me or hurting me? And how can I make the best choice where I'm at right now?
How do you stay motivated and keep pushing forward even when things are tough, let's say within your schedule, family, business? Like how do you stay motivated to keep that routine and keep to, your values and just everything?
This is a good one too. I'm personally not a fan of the word motivation because motivation fades. Like it really just comes down to your discipline. And I went through this with both my kids. They're like, they need to be motivated. And I'm like, okay, so maybe instead of motivation, you do need to have an end goal. So how do I personally do it? Back to what we were saying earlier. I know my end goal. Why do I do what I do every day? And why am I passionate about telling everyone about nutrition and fueling their body properly? Is what I'm eating helping me or hurting me? Back to I want to be the oldest in the weight room, not the youngest in assisted living. So with if that's your end goal, everything else kind of, I mean, that's kind of what I base my daily routine on. Like, if that's my end goal, then all the other decisions kind of just fall in place.
Yeah.
And I think I did a video on this, but I was like, and if you start thinking about it, it's that, again, that subtle mental shift instead of life is happening for you, not against you. You run your day. Don't let the day run you. Not again, it's not easy, but like you are in control. You design the life you have. Are there extenuating circumstances that can like make that very challenging? Absolutely. But you're in control of your life, period. And that's where instead of motivation, okay, this is what I'm doing today. And as a 47-year-old, every funeral I've been to, the person has died of suicide, heart attack, or cancer. I have yet to be at a funeral where someone has died of old age. That's for me, that's motivating for me. I think motivation would look different for someone else, but that to me is like, okay, I'm onto something here and I'm going to take care of my body the best I can. However, my time here ends is not in my control, but I'm going to be in control of what I can control.
You said about discipline because you're right. Motivation's not attainable, it's not real And I think a lot of us get stuck in the idea that we have to be motivated. And if we're not, then maybe we shouldn't be in business or we shouldn't be entrepreneurs. And the fact is motivation's not real. You just have to be disciplined enough to do it on a daily basis.
I think the better question, not from you, but like for people to think that, again, that subtle shift, what do you do to stay disciplined is, I guess, where I look at it, because motivation fades. We're all going to have bad days. We're all going to have, do I want to do all the things I do every day? No. But I also know dumb choices, dumb prizes, and consequences of bad actions. So that's where I mean, this is how I talk to myself internally. And sometimes I get on my own nerves, and that's okay.
How did you stay disciplined throughout your journey?
For me, as an athlete, I do think this goes back to my athletic background. I mean, my goal in high school was to play a collegiate sport. So, I mean, that's not just going to happen. You're going to have to be very disciplined and practicing. I mean, I hate to like use all these, but like Michael Jordan missed 99% of shots. Like it's all these motivational quotes come to mind, and I'm just like, really, it comes down to 99% of the work you're doing, no one's ever going to see or notice. It's just that 1% highlight reel, but all the work that happens just to produce that. I guess that to me, you have to have an end goal. Just if you want to talk about why am I so disciplined in what I do? Because I know the end goal for me. If I didn't have a goal, I mean, we could just get up and let the day run us and what's happening. And I do think people get stuck in that, and it's so much more comfortable to stay in your comfort zone than to get out of it because it requires discipline and effort. And again, having a 21 and 22-year-old watching them, it's a very different generation from me. And it's just like, we need to be motivated. And I was like, no, you just need a goal. What do you
Yeah.
want to do? And then let's go get it. So I think it's just, what do you want out of life? And if you don't know that, then sit down and like, even if you don't, like my kids, they don't know what they don't want. Their brains aren't even fully developed yet, but let's have a goal and let's work towards that. And then the next step is, and then build on that.
Yeah.
One step at a time, get up staircase.
So, my last question for you is, what do you wish you knew before starting your business? And how would you have approached things differently?
Good one. Um, Me personally, I I don't live my life with many regrets. So again, I guess my how I see things are I'm learning or growing and I'm failing forward. Failure happens on the way to success. And what does success look like? What is success? Uh, for me, success is I lay my head on my pillow at night and I said, I did my best today. That's it. So are there goals to reach? Are there entrepreneurs? We stress ourselves out, yes, but really back to that 1% better every day instead of striving for perfection every day, or I've got to do this whole list today. I did my best today, and that's going to be good enough.
Women connect with you if they want to reach out to learn more about your business and nutrition. Where can they reach you?
I'm on all socials, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I don't know on our platform I have a link that links all that. So email me, call me. I'm an open book if you haven't figured that out.
We'll make sure to put all of Crystal's information on our caption to make sure that you follow. If you want to reach out, can they reach out to you if they wanted to reach out?
Absolutely, please, always.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in and stay tuned for our next interview.